Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to another Thomas Wooden Railway discussion. Today's item is on the Thomas's Cranberry Spill 2-pack, which features a Welcome to Thomas Land Thomas, and it also features a Sodor Cranberry Farm car as well. So I'm going to get this out of the packaging in just a moment, but for those who don't know what this Thomas Land is right here, let me quickly explain. So in the Massachusetts part of the United States, which is like the northeastern part, there is this big giant theme park area called Edaville, and it's split up into sections, and one of the little sections or lands that you can visit is this Thomas Land area. I believe it opened up in 2015, so it's a pretty recent addition. And basically there's these carnival style rides that you can go on, and they've all been like transformed and redecorated to look like something from out of the island of Sodor. So they have like a Harold the helicopter ride, they have like a Bulstrode the barge ride, there's even like a Toby ride, and then they have just like these generic areas from the island of Sodor such as Knapford Sheds, and I think they have like the Sodor Sweet Shop. So basically the idea is that you go to this big giant Edaville theme park, and in one of the lands that they have there, they also have like your generic, I don't know, just like unthemed land that's just normal carnival rides, but then they also have a dino land. But then I personally, as a Thomas fan, I think their Thomas Land is the coolest part. They also have a giant Thomas like engine that you can ride in, sort of like a Day Out with Thomas event. So based on the pictures that I've seen online, it looks like a pretty cool place. I would love to go there, but like I said, it's located in Massachusetts, which for anybody who doesn't live in the United States, there's really not a whole lot to do out there. You know, like you may have heard of places like California or Florida or New York, and there's like a lot of touristy things to do there. But in Massachusetts, yeah, there's still a lot of cool things to see and do, but it's not your typical usual place that people go for vacation. So planning an individual separate trip out there is a little bit difficult, but I can assure you if I'm ever in the area, I will be sure to stop by. So what's unique about this toy is that it's only available at that Thomas Land at the Edaville theme park. So you're probably wondering, well, if I haven't been there, how did I pick up this item? And I actually saw a couple of these on eBay. This was many, many months ago. And I got this for about $25, which is what I'm presuming it runs for, like in the normal gift shop area there, because this type of, you know, arrangement or even just like a large tender engine usually runs for about $25 in the United States. So I'm guessing that's pretty much what it was priced at. However, I got it a little bit cheaper, or I should say it was listed cheaper, because you think if it's an exclusive item, people are going to buy it and resell it and try to make some money on it. But I got it a little bit cheaper because, as you can see there, the packaging's a little bit torn, and so I think the person selling it was just trying to get rid of it. So I was able to pick it up for what I thought was a decent price. I mean, if I ever go there, or I should say if I was ever going to go there, I would have definitely picked up one and paid the $25, so that's not an issue for me. So if you watched my most recent season of my Wooden Railway series, you're probably thinking, hey, this car here, this Cranberry Car looks familiar. I actually did use it in an episode titled James in a Jam. And as you can see here along the bottom, I was a little bit sneaky because I knew I wanted to do a review of this item, but I also wanted to feature this Cranberry Car in the episode. So I'm trying to be as gentle and delicate as possible. There we go. So what I did is I took some scissors, I just cut a line along the bottom there so that I could remove this car for that filming, for the filming of that episode, and then I could sneak it back in there for the review that I was going to do. So now that we've filmed the episode, it's actually time for the review. And so I was hoping to keep this packaging in somewhat decent shape. I don't know if that's going to be possible. But we got the Cranberry Car out, and as you can see on the bottom there, this is no ordinary Thomas Wooden Railway item. All right, I don't know how well I'm going to be able to keep this packaging in shape. All right, I tore it just a little bit. All right, there we go. So the packaging is unique in the sense that it says that it's only available at this Thomas Land location, and the back of it you saw right there is pretty ordinary. You'd honestly, looking at the back here, you have no idea that this was an exclusive. Maybe you could pick up on it from this Thomas Land deal there. But anyway, let's take a look at this 2-pack. As individual items. Let's see what we get here. So the Thomas here, I guess if you're going to open a theme park called Thomas Land, and you're going to sell Thomas merchandise, you gotta have like an exclusive item that basically says, I've been to Thomas Land, and this is essentially it. So the idea behind the whole cranberry theme of this piece is that I believe where the Edaville theme park is located, there's like these giant cranberry fields nearby. And I want to say that the Edaville theme park kind of goes around the cranberry fields. I've never been there. That's just kind of what I'm assuming. So we have this nice Thomas Wooden Railway model here who is, it kind of looks like he's run into a cranberry truck here. And that's like cranberry sauce that's going all over him. And then what I think is the really cool part, we have this Welcome to Thomas Land banner on both sides. The only problem there is that his driver and his fireman can't get out of his cab very easily, but that's either here nor there. The face looks pretty good, actually. I can kind of tell based on like the pupil size that this is not one of the original like 2013 Thomases that Mattel produced. This is like a second run, and I've seen a couple of these where the eyes are all a little bit wacky. They didn't do a very good job of making sure that Thomas looked okay, but he actually looks really good there, so that's awesome. Then on the bottom here, the writing is very familiar. That's something that we see across all different types and styles of Thomas Wooden Railway toys. But the logo there, that is something I have never seen before. That is definitely special, and as you can see, it's the Thomas Land logo. So that's really cool. Not only did they put the Cranberry Splash Thomas writing on the bottom, but they also gave us the Thomas Land logo, which is just really nice and kind of helps set this Thomas apart, although they didn't really need to do a whole lot of that because it still looks very nice. Interestingly, however, this 2-pack was titled Thomas's Cranberry Spill, and the official name of the Thomas model is Cranberry Splash Thomas, for anybody wondering. So I guess that makes sense, because Thomas's Cranberry Spill, it'd be kind of repetitive to put Thomas's Cranberry Spill on the bottom there. But based on the detailing that we get here, where we have like this cranberry sauce flying over Thomas, it does kind of imply that he's being a rather reckless engine, or maybe I was thinking maybe he ran into this car or something. Anyway, I think I'm thinking a little bit too far ahead there. But anyway, let's take a look at the second piece of this 2-pack. It's the actual Cranberry Car. And once again, it has the Thomas Land logo on the bottom, which is really, really awesome. So kudos to the individuals or group of individuals who are behind this toy. This is really smart. And just the simple inclusion of a logo just makes this piece stand out very nicely. I have a feeling this is a repaint of some other Thomas Wooden Railway model. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Because the reason I say that is because this material up here is plastic, and all you have to do is just paint it black and it looks like coal, or you paint it white or gray or brown and it looks like rocks. And then the detailing on the sides here is just so simple, you know, you just cover that up and everything. So that's just my theory, based on the fact that this is a limited edition exclusive item to one small theme park in the United States. I'm guessing this is a repaint of something, or at least shares the basis and design of another Thomas Wooden Railway model that it possibly would have like mass produced for something else, like a troublesome truck or something. Actually, now that I say troublesome truck, it kind of reminds me of the second bubblesome truck car, not the one where there's the removable top, but there's a second truck included in that, and he has like a worried face, and that's what this truck feels like. I don't know if the size, or excuse me, the height is the right size. That may be a little bit different, but I was trying to figure out, you know what, this feels really similar to something. So that's my theory, which would make sense, you know, since the bubblesome trucks were like a specialty store exclusive, like an online exclusive, and then they have like another exclusive item like this one. Those items are only being sold in specific areas. To me, that makes sense that they would share like a same design feature like this. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and theories on that. That's just kind of my opinion, based on what limited information I know about this item. Overall, I still think this is a very cool piece. I don't think cranberries are too, how should I say, they're not like, you know, too familiar over in the UK where, you know, Thomas is supposedly based. But we've seen kind of, you know, Americanized Thomas toys for a really long time. I mean, I just did a review on the 10 Years in America Thomas and Coach that came out back in the 1990s. So this sort of thing isn't that big of a deal. I hope people don't, you know, try to take it as seriously and they're like, oh, but cranberries aren't grown in the UK or something like that. I hope people just kind of enjoy the toy for what it is, and that's what I'm trying to do here. So overall, when you think about it, this is supposed to be a Thomas Land exclusive item where you're supposed to buy it in like the gift shop, and it basically says, yeah, I went to Thomas Land. I think it's a pretty nice toy. They could have just simply taken a normal Thomas without the cranberry splashes and then just, you know, made it like a Thomas Land Thomas. And that would have been okay too. They could have sold that in their gift shop. But I think kind of this 2-pack here that invokes like a story is a bit more creative, and I approve. So I really like this item. Unfortunately, I'm guessing with the introduction of Thomas and Friends Wood, this item is going to be discontinued or already has been discontinued. So I would say definitely, unless you're planning on going to Thomas Land in the very recent future, I'd say eBay is your best bet. For a while, these were up on eBay, but people were wanting like $45, $50 from them, and that's kind of ridiculous, although, you know, it is supply and demand, and if you really want one and you're not going to Edaville anytime soon, then you might have to pay that high of a price just to get one. But I felt like I, you know, got pretty lucky, and the reason why I felt like it was so reasonably priced is because there was a little bit of a tear in the packaging there, but I knew I was going to unbox it, so I wasn't that concerned. So there you have it, folks. That is the Thomas Land, or should we say Cranberry Splash Thomas, or the official name was Thomas's Cranberry Spill. Whatever you want to call it. Basically, it's like the Thomas Land Edaville exclusive item that you get when you go to the Edaville theme park. It's really the only type of Thomas theme park that we have here in the United States. I know over in the UK there's Drayton Manor, which is sort of a theme park, and it's also sort of like a museum. I don't think Thomas Land is really anything like a museum. But there's not too many, you know, locations like that in the entire world where it's like a big theme park or just location devoted to Thomas that's like that year-round. So going to those locations in person, I think, would be a really cool experience. I have not been to Thomas Land. I haven't been in Drayton Manor either, but I would love to go to those places. So hopefully there are some people out there in my YouTube audience that have been to Thomas Land, and I'd like to ask you, what was your experience like? Did you enjoy your time? Did you think, you know, it was worth the price of getting in? Did you end up picking up one of these, or did they have like different merchandise there? And then for the rest of my YouTube audience that hasn't gone to Thomas Land like me, what do you think of this item in general? Do you think it's sort of like a cool exclusive item that you can only get at the parks? Let's say, I'm guessing this is between $20 and $25. Do you think that's reasonable? I think that's pretty reasonable considering it's an exclusive item that you can only get in one location. So as usual, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this item. I personally think it's really cool. I don't know when I'll ever use this Thomas in my series because I don't have like there's not like a Sodor location called Thomas Land. But I've already used the Cranberry Car for that episode titled James and a Jam. So who knows? I'm pretty sure this will reappear again, because with the exception of the underside with the Thomas Land logo, you honestly can't tell that this is like an exclusive item pertaining to a real world location. It kind of just looks like a Sodor Cranberry Car. So that's kind of the beauty of it. So I guess I'll leave it at that. I want to thank everybody so much for watching. I kind of a different style of review because I'd already unboxed it way back in the day when I was working on season 14 of my series, but now I'm doing an official unboxing of it. So let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.